All right, so the first part I'm going to demonstrate is if you have no original rope to make a template off of. So what I mean by an original rope is if this rope had never broken, you can simply take this rope apart, measure the exact same length, and there's your length that you need to replace it with. But since we didn't have a rope, and that's often the case because these are often broken, in fact in this little garage space, I think every window has broken ropes except for one, so that's pretty common. But I'm going to show you how to just make a new one and measure it out. So it's kind of a little bit trial and error. So the first thing I do is I measure it from bottom to top, and then I add about 6 inches. So I got about, I don't know, 6-8 inches. It's not rocket science. So, and then I just take a knife and cut it. Okay, and that's it. So the next step will be to just tie the rope. This is not always the easiest. You can either copy how they tied it before, take a couple pictures beforehand to kind of copy it, or you can try following my method. So we're going to do a first person view here. Pull it through. And then just get this. And then I just tie it like this. Okay, those are a little knot like that. It's not even a knot, it's just kind of a position. And then you pull it. And then what I may do is just push it through just a little bit. Okay, and that's it. In my full tutorials, I have a video specifically on how to tie the weights. So hopefully that was enough to get you started. And I'll do it one more time for you. Okay, first person here. Hold the weight. So you bring it through, fold it over, just kind of go over once, twice like this. Okay, so it's got kind of that look. And then just bring it through. And hold this part. And just tighten it up. And then there you go. And the reason I like this is you can see that this is twirled up under here and now it's super tight on itself, and so over time the weight will just pull and it just keeps it held tight always. It doesn't come apart. Okay? So now we're gonna shove this in here, and I'm gonna show you first how I would do it taking off the trim. I want to show that method first. So I got the trim off. Just put it up to here. I try to not get the rope all dirty if you can, because you'll be seeing it. And just kind of shove it through here. So over time, the more this gets used, the more this pulley will hopefully loosen up. So now we've got it, okay? And I'm going to show the next step in the next little segment. All right, so I noticed when I was putting in the rope that the pulley's not quite spinning as I would like. So what I'm doing is just coming in here and knocking off a little bit more paint off the pulley. Basically just keep doing this little process until it spins a little bit better. And it may never spin perfectly because we're not doing a full restoration, but I was just hoping to get it to go a little bit better. I just stick it like in here, and I'm just knocking off the paint so it goes a little smoother. Okay, I just wanted to show that quick step. Okay, so next step is I grab the sash, and now I want to pull out the old rope. So if you want to come in close, a lot of these old sashes, for some reason they felt they needed to nail the rope in there. So you can see, if you look here, there's an old nail. They're usually fairly loose. So I just take it and I pull it out like that. I never nail it when I'm putting the rope back in because I just totally don't think it's necessary, because it's sitting against the frame its entire life, so there's just not any chance of it pulling out. Okay, so as you can see, what we pulled out is what I call a pretzel knot. Okay, so on this part of the rope, what I need to do is create a pretzel knot. Now again, this is going to be trial and error because it may not be exactly right, but basically the pretzel knot's going to need to sit about right here when it's sitting there. And then what you want to make sure is that it's not so long that when the window opens, it hits the bottom. So I probably need to shorten this a little bit to about right here so that when I open up the window, so it'll sit here when it's sitting, and when the window opens, see it's still hitting, so I'm gonna go up a little higher. This mosquito's gonna get me. Okay, so when the window's down, be about right here. And when it's up, okay, it's still hanging, and that's what you want. You don't want it hitting the bottom. So here to there. I'm going to go down an inch or two because I can shorten it up. Because you also, when it's down, you don't want it to hit the bottom or the top. See that? I don't know if you can get in there. That means it's hitting the top and it's too short. So it's kind of a balance between the two. So I'm guessing that it's right here. And I am going to. This mosquito is after me. So I'm going to cut it. Make basically another guesstimate cut. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a little pretzel knot. Okay. Alright, there you go. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all this stuff up here. Alright, and then I'm going to put the sash back up here to kind of give me a little bit better of a guesstimate. So I'm going to put this in. Okay, I know from it sitting right here that it's not hitting the top, so that's good. And then I'm going to put it back into its little slot. Put the rope right in here. So again, I got the pretzel knot. I'm going to tuck it in. Put that there. Let's see. And once you get the ropes on, it's a little bit more. Okay, so look at that. It's good. You see how it's not hitting the top? That's a good sign. That's about right where you want it to hang. And then when you open it, that's good too. So that's the right length. That's the length we want. All right, so that's how you do that. Now I'm going to show you another thing really quick.